Well, spring planting is picking up across the country. USDA's latest crop progress report shows 11% of corn is planted nationwide, which is on pace with last year. Well, Dennis Reyman with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers joins us now for an update on conditions from his region. Dennis, always a pleasure. Good morning to you, sir. So how are things there where you are?
Well, good morning and happy Earth Day, Suzanne. Things are really pretty good in Western Iowa in our territory. I know the USDA report said Iowa was 2% completed on corn and 1% on beans as of Sunday. We're actually well ahead of that pace, and I couldn't give you a percentage, but we're actually pretty pleased with our progress here. We're drier than what much of Iowa is, and so the planters have been rolling and rolling hard. I think that by the end of the month, we're going to be in really good shape with both corn and soybeans, and probably looking for a little shot of rain, which we did get a bit this morning.
Well, it sounds like things are right on target. And by the way, yes, happy Earth Day to you. We know our farmers and producers, stewards of the land, and they do it better than anyone else. Dennis, it sounds like soybeans planted earlier than in the season. Is that what we're looking at there?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's been the trend in recent years. Soybeans, I would say, probably started a bit earlier than corn, or at least a lot of guys now run two planters, planting corn and soybeans simultaneously, and or may start the beans ahead of the corn. And this is becoming quite common, and the yield results prove that it's a good way to go.
Let me ask you about this. What about grain movement? What are you seeing there?
We saw a lot of grain moving in January and then a lot again as the prices have improved recently. So I was a bit surprised at the on-farm number in the March 31st stocks report, but you can't argue with USDA in the end. But perhaps that'll change more than we think come the next quarterly report. But I think grain's been moving along pretty good for both corn and soybeans.
Sounds like we're going to get a little bit of an adjustment in that next report.
Well, we're looking for it.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. We often talk land. Spring season, from what I understand, seems to be a quiet time for land sales. Is that true? What are you looking at right now?
Yeah, it is true, and this year is keeping right with that trend. April and May are usually the 2 months that are the least active for land sales, and that's what we see now. Now we did look at our first quarter results and the sales that occurred, and I think volume was about average, but the sales were stronger actually, not drastically, but a little stronger. And I did 2 appraisal updates recently that updated appraisals from about a year to a year and a quarter ago. And one came in exactly steady. The other came in within 1% of the earlier. So I'd say that verifies a pretty steady market.
Yeah. What do you see as far as picking things up, as far as land sales? When does it start to change? Is it after summer?
Well, it'll start to pick up in later June, and then each month will increase in volume. So July, August becomes more active, and then of course the fall season through harvest and post-harvest is when we see the most activity.
Absolutely. Dennis, always great. Thank you for your analysis. Good to have you. Stay well, and of course a great season there planting. Dennis Reyman with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers.